Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on.
I always say, like, people say to me, I've heard people say, because you're a West Ham fan and you're at West Ham, you play. Like, it's the biggest load of bollocks ever. Like, if you're not good enough, you don't play. You're gone, you know. And I think it was like 450 Premier League appearances I made. That, like, you don't make 50 unless you're good enough. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it don't matter whether you support the club or you're a good lad or whatever. If you're not good enough, like, you're just gone, aren't you? Yeah. You know, you don't get a new contract or you go out on loan. And to have the longevity of, I say, like. I think it's inside you, because a lot of players have 2 or 3 good seasons, and then it's like, what's happened to them? Like,
flash in the pan.
Yeah, they can't. How do I say it?
Just keep replicating it.
Yeah, but inside themselves, you know, like, just keep getting themselves up for it.
That drive, isn't it?
That desire to keep going.
Yeah. So, like, even if we'd lost 4-0 on a Saturday, like, obviously Saturday night I'd have the raving ump, and then. Like, but Monday I was ready to go again. Yeah. Like, we need to win on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? Like, boots on, and not so much like hammering everyone, but leading by example of the way you train. And it does, like, it does catch on for us. You would have seen it in teams you've played in where you think, mate, he's always at it. Like, you can't, like, break him down. Do you know what I mean? And that's, for me, whenever I've had players like that, I'm like, I've got to do that today because he does it. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, there's sort of players. I've seen so many players throughout my career where they might not be, this has nothing to do with you, I'm not referencing you here, but they might not necessarily be the most technical, gifted, all this kind of stuff, but you can rely on them like 110%.
That's why I played so many games, like, for sure. I wasn't quick, really strong or whatever, but I put in a performance most weeks.
Yeah,
you know
what you're going to get.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get, and there was a few goalies I scored 6 goals past, so that ain't...
One or two. Well, we were talking.
There's only one, actually. But.
We were doing this just before the podcast started, weren't they? It was like you two were talking about the goals that you'd scored against Ben, watching them back, and I just can't get over how, like, it's like this... like photographic memory of who was marking you.
He remembered everything so much. And I went, you scored 5 goals past me. And then I was telling him about the games, and he went, no, I scored 2 in that game. And I went, no, you didn't. He went, yeah, I did. I scored 2 in that game.
Yeah, I did, because I went
off. Side volley. It was a side volley, and I was like, I think you did, actually. Yeah, so we've had a look at it at YouTube. He scored 6 goals past me, actually. He did score 6 goals. I want to talk about some goalies you've played with. I want to talk about some managers that you've played with. First of all, I don't want to do no England talk because you've talked about it so much, but there is a stat about this, and I don't know if you know this one, but there are only 3 players in Premier League history, that have played over 400 games but not received a call-up to their national team. Do you know who them 3 players are? Do you know this one?
I think I know one player.
Go on.
Steve Bruce?
Nope.
Do you know what?
This is a good question. This is a really good quiz question.
Sylvain Distin?
Sylvain Distin. That's world class, by the way. Very, very good.
Because I know he's like high up on the all-time Prem appearances. I think he's like
he is,
9th or 17th. Yeah.
So you're obviously one of them. Sylvain Distin. Do you want to know the last final?
Another clue.
You won't get him. It's a good one, though.
Okay.
Kevin Nolan.
Oh, really?
Player.
Yeah.
Nolan,
I say that because we was... me and Cress was having a laugh with him last year. Well, we didn't because he was like, I can't remember what he was, and I overtook him, and we was counting down the games until I overtook him, so he could say, "Kev, look."
Do you know what? Kevin Nolan? He was a player.
I hated playing against him.
He was a bully. He was a bully. What a player!
It was horrible.
I said to him when he first come to West Ham, I said, "Mate, you're so lucky." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Mate, you always score goals. Like, I run in the box, don't even come to me."
Yeah.
And then when I played with him, mate, honestly. He's in the box every single time it's in there. So then obviously it was great for me because I used to get on the ball and play, and Kev was like, I said, Kev, just get in the box because you don't. He's finishing, and
he's
a lot of timing, and he was unbeliable, mate. Honestly,
he creates goals for himself. Like I say, he used to stand on me for corners, and I'm just thinking, I can't move him.
I remember
I can't move him.
I remember when you were at Blues, and I can't remember who was at the time. It might have been Bolton. I don't know.
It was,
And I remember watching. I think I was like with your dad and your brother.
Him and Kevin Davies.
And I was going, who's that? Like, and it was Kevin Nolan. Like, just
he was honestly he used to do this thing to me in training, and. Because he was skipper at the time, and I was skipper when he didn't play, so we was never on the same team because we'd have too much power in training over the ref or whatever. So Kev didn't really give a shit about like getting on the ball and playing and 1-2s and all that, but I did because I wanted to enjoy it. So every training session, at the end when we have a 5-0, he'd just come and stand on me, right?
Stop you doing all that.
No, Foz, honestly, I used to on the verge of saying like I'm going in, because what he'd do is, I promise you, he would come and stand on me and I could not get the ball. You know, as you say when he pinned you, but he was so strong and big that I'd be moving, he'd just stand on me, so no one would like pass to me, and then my team would lose the ball, he'd like break off me, go and score or something, and as soon as we got it back, he'd run and stand next to me again, right? So I couldn't get on the ball and play.
Horrible.
And I'd say to our assistant, Matt, look, listen, if he keeps it, I'm going in. I swear to God, I'm going in. And he's like, I can't stop him. It's not against the law. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, mate, it's brutal.
I want to talk about some goalies that we played with then, okay? Well, you played with. I've gone through the list of them, like the mainstay goalies, the one that's played quite a few games at West Ham. I'm going to start it off with Shaka Hislop. Give me what you remember of him.
Oh, that was years ago. Jesus.
Big Shaka.
Yeah. I remember once sorry to not talk about Jack, but just with David James quick.
Yeah.
I was a young kid coming through, and I think he'd made a mistake the week before against the team. I can't tell who it's against for West Ham. And then I was in training. I was like 16 at the time, and I had a shot from like 30 yards, mate, weak as piss. Like, and he just picked it up. And I remember him going to me, "Fucking hell, like, well, you've been playing too much FIFA. You think you can score from there?" And you know, like, it was just on the tip of my tongue, like, just saying, well, you chucked one in last week. But he would have beat the shit out of you. Like,
really?
You would have got battered there.
Oh, mate,
You would have got
battered me.
absolutely battered.
And he's such a... I played with him he played in my testimonial, and I played with him in the soccer aid like the other month, and he's still a madman, but he's a top guy, you know what I mean?
Mate, the first time I got into England squad, David James was in there. I was fourth choice goalie at that time. We were doing a crossing session, and I crossed one in, and it weren't come and take it at a nice height. It was like there in front of his face. Instead of trying to catch it, he just got his fist, right, and just pumped it away. And he was chuntering under his breath, fuming, right? And I'm shitting myself. But I just looked at the goalie coach. And he just sort of went, "Just keep going, just keep going."
Mate, he was like that. He was a machine, mate.
He was
honestly,
so scary.
Yeah,
and when I was
so
a
scary.
kid, obviously travelling, I wasn't playing in the team. I was young, like 16. He used to drink about 25 cups a day.
Really?
Cups of tea on the bus. Honestly, mate, I used to stand on my feet for like 6 hours making tea.
Making teas back and forth.
Yeah.
Don't happen anymore.
Wasn't Shaka
Kids don't do that anymore.
Wasn't Shaka Hislop? I'm sure it was him who was like some kind of genius, like the smartest footballer ever. Am I getting that wrong?
I don't know.
I think I'm getting that wrong,
never
aren't
heard
I?
that.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
He was such a lovely man, Shaq.
Yeah.
Like a lovely man, yeah. Really nice guy. Obviously a top goalie, but I just remember how nice of a guy he was.
Yeah,
Because I was only young and I
Yeah,
didn't really
yeah.
play with him much, but
Yeah.
he was a top fella.
Jussi Jaskalainen, Jussi.
Yeah, you see, yeah. We had him for, I think it was 4 or 5 years,
Yeah,
actually. He was
good work, yeah.
I remember I scored one of my first ever goals against him for Bolton, a volley,
yeah.
backstick volley. And he come to West Ham, and he was like goalies are not, I don't know, goalies are normally fucking mad, isn't they? You know, like they're always off their head and come out and like want the ball in their face, and when it hits them full in the face, they like love it. You know, it's weird. And he was exactly the same as that, mate. Just think of a shit.
I love it. What a guy. He's the nicest man in the world, by the
Yeah.
way. Joe Hart.
Another fruitcake. Like Harty will tell you this. He was at training at the stadium, and he was doing a shooting session, like just where the coach pings it out, you have a touch and finish. And Deck was only, this is when, so Deck must have been like young, 19 at the time. And he's had a touch, and Deck's got a lovely strike on him, and he's whipped one past Harty, and he's gone, and Harty dived for it, didn't get it, and he's like, "What a Harty one day, son," like that, right? Yeah, and Harty went, "Deck, you say that again, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you." Right, and so he's come back to Deck, he's missed one, and he's hit another one, he's gone in, and I said, "Go on, say it." And he went, "One day, Harty," like that, mate. And I swear to you, Harty has just left him, sprinted across the pitch. Dex took off down the tunnel. He chased him the whole way around London Stadium, like all winter. Yeah, got him and beat him up. But it was like that. Harty was mad, mate. But he was like such a
Brilliant. You've got some good Harty stories,
Harty's a
haven't
tank,
you?
mate. I
Harty's a
reckon Harty can
tank,
do some
innit?
damage.
Yeah,
you know. He is
Harty's
muscle
so
on muscle.
strong, mate. Honestly, so strong. I played with him young England age groups and all that, and he's just like a top fella.
Yeah.
But He's mad. Like, they're all mad.
Energy to burn. He's got too much energy.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.